everybody knows, Valentino is having the ombre nail challenge. And I saw that and reacted off of that. And then after a couple of days, a lot of people were scared to enter.
Not worried about the other females.
No, not at all.
I have, let's just say, 400 girls that work with us, right? They're all looking around, and then they post it in their stories, they post it on their page or whatever it is to cheer you on, right? And then my main crew, like my core educator group, sends me their favorite ones. So they're like, yo, check this girl out, check this girl out, check this girl out. It's like, you know, it's physically impossible for me to see everything, right? I'm running a business, I'm on social media, I'm doing everything I possibly can. I try to answer every DM as best as I can, but I'm only one man, and if I put somebody else in my DM to answer for me, then I'm not being authentic anymore. So it's hard for me. I'm in a transition period that I'm trying to give as much as I can, but I'm only one man. So I was worried about that you girls are scared of the other girls critiquing you, but I got 400 girls that are cheering you on, right? So I thought that would do it, but you're just really worried about me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we entered in the battle, right? So you did that.
Before I entered in the battle, he then posted a video and I shortened it.
Yeah. So it's the clip from the last video.
David's attention. Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer. Come find me. Come to my store.
Got it.
You want and come meet me.
So you were about it.
I stopped it right there.
Okay.
And like I said, I heard him. I texted, I said, bitch, we going to Florida.
Yes.
And then
Book that flight.
And he worked, so he was like, so we let the excitement die down for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, friend, make sure that you can get off work and everything. He got off work. We drove from Freeport, Illinois to Charleston, Mississippi, 11 hours. Then we flew from Memphis to Florida. I've never been on a plane in my life.
Oh my goodness. So
Never.
first time flight
This
offer.
is the first time that I actually wanted to do something. Actually, something that I wanted to do. So we booked the flight. We got it on. And actually, we were supposed to be flying out on Wednesday. I thought that I booked the ticket for Tuesday, and then as we were walking into the airport, trying to check and see what entry we needed to go in, I looked at the email and it said for Wednesday, and I looked at my friend and I'm like, friend, it say tomorrow we gotta go back. We gotta go back to Mississippi to see. So he was like, no, bitch, we gone. So we went up there, and just by chance they were like, we could switch your tickets today, and even the man. He
that
was like,
really happen.
Yeah, he said that. He said, I'm going to try my best. He said, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So he did it. It worked. We took our flight. And then as we were going into the flight, my friend's ticket said to be dropped off in North Carolina. And had he not looked at that, he would have been stuck in North Carolina. And my ticket was right to be able to go here. So we stopped. We fixed it. It still ended up being messed up again. All odds was against us on this.
I was gonna say it seemed like challenge after challenge.
But we was just like, we going, we getting there. Then we ended up.
All this to see me.
Yeah.
All this for him. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, we got here, booked our flights, and literally the night before, because I have not booked our rental car or our hotel when we were in Mississippi. And I was going about it, trying to book it that whole night, and it kept saying trip canceled, not available. So I'm like, okay, we don't even really have a hotel to stay in as we're coming here. So we didn't even really know where we was going until...
So you were just like about it, like I'm gonna get over here. Okay, so let's fast forward. So now you guys finally got here.
Yeah.
So the meant to be moment, it finally happened. You arrive in Florida, and you show up to headquarters.
No, first...
Okay, yeah, tell me more.
They posted another video.
Oh,
and
another one.
You were somewhere else.
Another one.
So honestly, I got worried that you were not even gonna be in Florida.
I need to keep my mouth shut. No.
He's like, where are you?
I was out of class, and you were just like, oh yeah, I love it here, and this and that. And I was like, I didn't tell my friend that I felt like we weren't gonna meet you. I was like, okay, we're gonna go shopping a little bit, but the whole time I'm like, this man is not even in Florida.
Well, something happened. I was in the back room of where like our shipping department is, and I was actually checking somebody back there. I was in a bad mood, and then I opened the door and I saw you two standing there, and something happened, and you're like, you went through all this stuff to get here, honestly, it's God's plan.
For sure.
I promised Noodle before she left this trip that I will sit and videotape whatever. Who is David? Whatever it is that we need to put out about me. But I made an audible call yesterday when I saw you and you were genuinely looking at me like in tears. I read the energy of both of you and you were both equally excited. And I was like, these are good people. Then I brought you into my office. And, you know, and everyone's trying to say, David, like, because I have systems in place. Like, okay, you want to come see me? Someone's got to come, bring you into the office. You have this amount of time. Yesterday, when you caught me off guard, I was like, I like these people. I'm like, let's do an audible. Let's go make a video today.
Right.
Sorry, Ghost, that I made you set this up, but we were going to do this anyway. It just so happened that God did this at the right time to bring you here. And, like, when it literally touched my heart looking at you guys that I left when Lala says, David, your 30 minutes is up, because that's the time that I allow, because time is the most important thing to me, because I'm only one man, I can only do so much, so I allow 30 minutes. She's like, David, you know, it's about to be 30 minutes. I was like, no, 30 minutes don't matter. I'll sit here for 5 hours with her if she's got to sit here. So if I take a liking to somebody off rip, that means I'm going to give you my full undivided attention no matter what meeting is pressing. After, I'll push that back and reschedule it. If I'm sitting with someone who's got my attention, I'm giving you my undivided attention. You asked key questions yesterday, I'm like, you're coming on camera with me.
Everybody just knows that this is just really what I've been working for. So I just prayed a lot on this. And I really, honestly, we're really on the same frequency. So at what point in your life did you feel like you were meant to do this? Like, this is what I'm meant to do. It's certain nail sets that I can go back and look at and be like, okay, this was a moment. This was a moment that I felt like
the click.
This was when Flex Parker became this. So when did you feel like I'm Valentino? Y'all gonna feel me. You're not gonna just hear me. You're not gonna just see some products. You gonna know who I am.
So you're talking about just the nail business, not being a boss in general.
Being a boss, all of it.
Okay.
When did you know that this?
I knew off rip when I went to school in kindergarten that I didn't fit in at all. I didn't care what the teacher was saying. I wasn't into it. I was a very rowdy, like, you couldn't get me into class. I wanted to go get out, whatever. So, like, in middle school, sometime in elementary school, I saw kids, there was a game called pencil petting, right? So people would hit a pencil and break it, but then they didn't have a pencil to go to class with. So I was like, Mom bought me a box of pencils from like Costco or Office Depot, whatever it was, and it was like, let's just say $10. So I have a backpack filled with pencils, and every day I would sell the whole box out in like 30 minutes for $1 a piece. So I'm coming back with, I don't know, like $300-$400 in third grade. And I'm like, hey Mom, that box of pencils got me all this money. I want to go buy baseball cards with it, or basketball cards, or whatever it was that was in that time. So I knew that at that time that something was different about me. And then I started looking at, like, okay, I would pay attention to what my father's friends were doing or my friends' parents were doing. And anybody who was a school teacher, a government worker, a 9-to-5 person, I didn't have any feeling there. There was nothing that excited me. But when I met my friends' dads or my friends' fathers that own companies, I was intrigued by them. When I met my whole family's entrepreneurs. So maybe it's just in my blood or in my DNA. I'm not really sure how that came up. But I would get really, really intrigued when my friend's father said, oh, I own this travel agency and I also own this harbor or whatever and da-da-da-da. So I looked at it as like Monopoly. Okay, we got a board game, we're playing Monopoly, and I'm like, I looked at all the bosses as this is Monopoly. They got property, they got businesses, and then the doctor is telling me, David, you must go to school, you must go to college, you must do this, you must do that. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just listen to everything. And my father, everybody in the 90s is telling you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college. So what I do, I wanted to work for my father. My father told me, no, you're going to college, you're not working in the salons. I'm like, I'm already managing one. Let me just run them all and we'll take the business from here to here. Let me help you in the distributor. No, you're going to college. I went the opposite way. I went into the restaurant business. She's like, shit, I should have took my son with me. So 10 years later, just to break the story down real quick, 10 years later, I'm out of everything. I'm out of all the pizza and restaurants and ATM businesses that I was in. And then I stepped up to my father and I was like, you know, Dad, I'm getting a lot of offers from everybody because they heard I'm a free agent, meaning that I don't have business anymore, and I'm trying to figure out what to do after the market crash in 2008. I already got rid of the businesses before them. I took 2 years off to figure out what I wanted to do, and I just looked at my father and said, what do you want to do? Like, what should we do? I just want to work with you. That was my dream as a kid. I just want to work with you. You don't even have to do anything. I just want to do something. And I said, and he's like, well, remember that machine that I wanted to make in 2000, but I never got a chance to, about the dust and the odor for the girls? And I was like, yeah. So I took every dollar. I said, okay, let's go do that. Didn't even think about it. No hesitation, no nothing. I did not do what a proper businessman should do. I did not do my homework. I did not do the demographic search. I did not do the price point. I did zero homework. I just went in knowing that I'm from the beauty business, born and raised. My grandfather was a barber. My dad is a hairstylist. My mother ran salons. My dad ran the best salons in the country. I'm through and through from this business. So if you ask that question, when I was a kid, I wanted to be in this business. I remember running around in the nail department saying, hey, like I would like check the nail techs, like, hey, this tub is dirty. I'm like 7 or 8 years old because I wanted to sit in the tub, but it was still dirty. I'm like, can you clean this, please? And I wasn't being like rude or whatever. I was just like, I would be like a little kid, like, the tub is dirty. I need distribution. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I said, no, I'm going this way. I'm gonna make my own lane. And I'm like, the reason that those ladies at that time that were yelling at me and disrespecting me they were not making any money. And I found that out. And I was like, I wonder why they're not making money. How do you go dress to work every day? I had to dress in mesh shorts in order for them to talk to me. As I came in as Valentino. But then Valentino had to roll back and be like, oh, okay, nobody cares how they look, this and that. How do I get it that there's a perceived value for you? So on everybody's Instagram page, people are just posting their nails, posting their hands. Everybody's page looks the same. So then what I do, I saw there was a group of people that were stepping into the business in their 20s, right? I'm 37. These people are in their 20s, and they got style and they got swag. And I was like, okay, how do I get Noodle to get the same respect as Lala, the makeup artist, or whoever it is? You know what I'm saying? Like, the makeup artist gets respect. The hairstylist gets respect. So you want to know what drives me in this business? I'm not leaving until a nail tech gets respect in this game. From the public to the nail tech. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, there is nobody out there looking at it that way. It's how much product can I sell? How much product can I sell? Product's secondary for me. Right. That's why I said, you came at the right time, and I'm going to bring you on this thing because it's time for me to speak and let the industry have a voice. So I'm going to be your voice for you. Because there is no one here to guide you. There is no one here to show you the way. They're here to just, when you call a girl in your town and say, can you help me? They're like, no, I'm not helping you. You're going to take my clients, da-da-da-da-da. There's enough business for everybody in the world. How many beer brands are there? Right. How many, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's, I just got on a tangent, but at the end of the day, there is a thing online called nail shaming. There's all kinds of crazy things I just found out about. They're like, David, I'm scared to post a picture because they're going to put me in a nail shaming group. I'm like, what are you talking about? They sent me on Facebook and they show me this, and I'm like, oh, so these people are just going at each other's throat all day long. Over what?
So the goal is, I think, that you want to get people to work in unison because there's enough.
I can't make the world work in unison. All I could do is help you receive your perceived value or you raise your price. So if this dirty store over here is charging $45 for a set of nails, and no one in there is put together, they have no makeup on, they're not dressed right, and then all of a sudden that lady goes there, they're using that person, but then all of a sudden that lady's up at night one night and she stumbles on your Instagram, and they're like, or your Instagram, oh, these nails are nice. Wait a minute, you do nails? She looks like me. Oh, wait a minute, I think I could vibe with her. So the woman's going to come to you based off of what she sees. So you attract what you project, right? Birds of a feather flock together. So you're going to attract your own dynamic. So if you two are in the same town, in the same building, next suite by suite, She's gonna have her own clientele. You're gonna have your own clientele because you're two totally different people. And that's what the market doesn't understand. That's why they keep yelling and fighting at each other. That's why I push the girls, take pictures of yourself so they show you. I'm not asking you to take a selfie. Just show what you look like so that your nails match your face.
That's kind of like what you told me the other day too. It's like you're not just given respect, you earn it, you know? And I think that's part of it. If you don't present yourself in a respectable manner, how do you expect these clients to respect you? You know, and I think that you're helping rebrand the entire nail industry in that sense by leveling it up.
Thank you.
I mean, you are. It's true. It's true.
Made me cry 2 days in a row.
Oh my God, we're in an emotional state. All right, next question.
To be in the position that you are in, how do you feel?
Same way as the first day I started. Egos checked at the door. Might sound like I'm confident, might sound like I know what I'm doing or whatever. Yes, I know what I'm doing. But as far as how do I feel, I don't feel any different than 5 or 7 years ago when I stepped in this business.
What's the quote you tell me all the time?
Ego is your enemy. Every day before I walk out my door, you said a sentence, I look at that book. I have a book. I've opened it, I've looked at it, but I never read the whole book. I don't need to. All I need to do is see ego is your enemy. Why? Because every man that I've ever seen successful, they fall because their ego's in the way. They think I'm untouchable, I'm unstoppable, I'm this, I'm that. You need to remain humble. Like it don't matter if you're talking to if you don't know the dishwasher in your business all the way to the manager, you're doing something wrong in my opinion. Right. A different person might tell you something else. The way that I operate is the dishwasher and the general manager or the vice president, they're treated equally. I sit down with the dishwasher and eat lunch. No other boss that I know will sit there. They're like, David, why are you sitting there? Give an example. This kid that I was flying to California with, he's like, David, you're a boss. Why are you not sitting in first class? And put me in the back of the bus. Ghost, I'm like, if you're in the back of the plane, I'm sitting next to you in the back of the plane. If I feel like paying first class for both of us, then we'll sit in first class. But if you're in the back, I'm in the back. I ain't putting my team back there if I'm in the front. It's just not the way that I move. It means for you to cry and see me yesterday, and now for you to be sitting here with me today, it's the same feeling.
Right.
I don't feel any different than you do right now. You feel me?
All right, next.
Okay. How do you cope with business stress?
I still gotta figure that one out.
I know, I'm like, I'm gonna stay quiet on this one.
Honest to God, I need to figure that one out.
How do you suggest maintaining the money?
Might be the best question anybody asks in the whole time I've been in this business. It's one thing to build a brand, one thing to build the salon out. It's another thing to keep your staff, keep your business, keep business coming in, remain fresh. Like I said to you, I'm looking 1,000 yards. I'm on the 5-yard line. I'm looking 100 yards down the road. I'm not looking at tomorrow. I'm looking at next year, today. So you gotta constantly be fresh. And then let's just say, okay, in the world of nails, they're like, oh my God, this girl's copying me or whatever they say. It's very simple. There's 2 mindsets of business people. Business people who want to stay in business and business people that just want to make it just
and
to
flex,
show off
yeah.
and flex. So you might have built a $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $50, $100 million brand. Well, you won't get it to $100 million if you have that kind of mindset, or 50 or 10. You might get to $1 million. But if your Instagram of you standing on top of the roof of your car and flexing, or if you are out at a bottle service table throwing that 5, 10, 20 grand a night
It's
because
not gonna last.
you can for that 5-second window, it ain't gonna last. And taking on too much investor money also is a problem. So
Just be smart.
you have to be smart on how you move. Meaning, I built this company, I went broke. Broke beyond you could imagine. But I still moved and did not take on money from other people. I just kept fighting every day and flipped and flipped. And every dollar that I make, could I go out to a nightclub right now and drop money on a bottle service and all this? Yes. But I'm way too obsessed with my business right now that every dollar that I make goes back into the business. So if you keep that mindset of, okay, take a little bit for your personal, but your business is your main priority, and then until you're at that scenario where you're like, okay, I could fall back now, You just need to keep reinvesting in yourself. Somebody
Ego. Don't feed into the ego.
A 22-year-old or a 24-year-old that's sitting here, they're growing up on an Instagram society where the whole world is flexing.
Right.
But it's all a smoke and mirror show. So I tell everyone this. Everyone's Instagram rich, but if you look at their Facebook, they're crying poor. Don't worry about the nail shop on every block. Let me teach you how to niche yourself out real quick. Go into a hair salon anywhere in your town and ask them, do you booth rent or do you do commission? Okay? Most likely you're gonna say, I don't know, in every state's different, but most states right now are going to the booth renting route. Okay? So if you're worried about competing with the other salons and you might be working at your house or whatever and it's hard for you to market because of legality issues, I understand that. So here's the answer for you that's a very clean answer. You're going to go to Noodle's salon and you're going to say, hi Noodle, I see that you have 10 hair chairs here, but that whole space over there is all empty. Do you mind if I just come in and put a table here and I pay you booth rent of whatever? What do you charge your booth renters in the hair? Throw a number out at her, whether it's $100, $75, $150, somewhere around there, and say, do you mind if I pay you booth rent every week? Now you're on the same playing field as those convenience salons. The second step is this. You need to niche yourself out. What am I specialized in? Acrylic, right? So I niched myself out on purpose and made sure that I had the best product that I could possibly make before I moved on to something else. So you need to niche yourself out, market yourself, and I know you got your boy here who is rocking. Can I have him? Can he come on for
come
me?
on, come here. Come sit with us. Yes. Roll on in.
You have your cheerleader here.
Yes.
Okay, he is walking around with her acrylic nails on, running around in the streets saying, girl, you need to go see her.
Your billboard. This is your billboard right here.
He's a walking billboard
He
for you.
is.
You couldn't ask for something better than that.
Right.
But because of the pandemic and now you're working out your house, if you can get to a salon and they're willing to cut that deal with you, that it's just you in there, now the walking billboard has people to send to you. And then once you have your full book, then it's the time to decide, like I just said, I want to keep this person, I want to fire this customer. Then you're in control once you have a full book. But you got to be booked 2 months out before you can start firing your clients. Relations that I built at the trade shows with people. I'll give an example. One of the girls is here right now, somewhere, Shelly, who entered the contest when I was distributing a different brand. She had done my favorite set of nails. I was in love with that set. I wanted her to win, but at that time I wasn't the final decision maker. So even though I was the boss, I still gave the power to the Noodle at that time, or whoever the person was. They decided that she came in second or third place. I forgot what place she came into. But she did take the chance and come to a class, and she was intimidated. She just moved here from Puerto Rico. She's starting her life over, and then she literally took it. She saw that there was a class in West Palm Beach. She drove 2 hours. She'd never been to a class before. She's self-taught in Puerto Rico. She came in there, and she came in when at that time there was Instagram influencers like in the beginning of the game. So like there was like 10 of us in that room, and then there was one of us that was on TV, and then she just got off TMZ. So that room was an intimidating room, and I'm sitting in the back row, and then I was like, why don't you guys enter the contest? And Michelle turned around, Shelly's nails, turned around and looked at me, and she said, David, I did. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, I didn't see your entry, because she's sitting in front of me. I would have remembered the face at that time. And she showed me it, and I was like, wait a minute, that entry's winning. Like, I literally looked at her saying that, and then I'm like, what? And I'm gonna tie this back into the question you asked me before. I'm like, the reason that I did not know that you were sitting in front of me for the last, it was a 2-day class. This was on the second day of the class. I did not know that the girl who did my favorite set of nails for that year, forget about the contest, talking about in general, my favorite set of nails at that time, was sitting right in front of me, and because she didn't have a picture on her page for me to put a face to the nails, and if she didn't tell me that was me, she might have missed that opportunity of saying, listen, forget about the contest. The contest is just for me to get to know you. And if you make connection with me, I might be able to put you on. So it doesn't matter if you win or lose, I'm going to bring you onto the team. You know what I'm saying? So then she ended up she stayed with me through Retro. And then when I opened Valentino, she's the first one I called. Allison and Queen, I'll just use them as an example. I sent product to Allison, I sent product to Queen. They're like, David, we don't use gel in pods. We don't use gel polish. We use nail polish and acrylic. I was like, all right, I don't want you to rep anything that you don't do. I'm like, but you wait, because I'm dropping acrylic under Valentino. So Allison's like, yeah, right, you're never going to call me, da-da-da-da-da. And I remember her trying to check me on the phone, like, you're never going to call me, da-da-da-da-da, don't blow smoke up me. And I was like, okay, that's fine, you'll see. Fast forward 2 years later, I called Queen back up, and I said, Queen, give me your address. I said, I got something for you. Because I built the relation then after. Now, they weren't working for me, they had nothing to do, but I build relationships with people. I'm a people person, I like to build solid relationships. When I sent it to Queen called me back immediately, or she made a video saying, what the hell did David do here, or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, Queen's down. Queen called me up, and she's like, I don't know what you did, but let's get this going. And then Allison, the same thing. I don't know what you did, let's get this going. And I brought them all here. And then there was other girls that were with me since day one. So I remember who helped me when I was down, and then I reached out to them to help me when I'm about to come up. You know what I'm saying? So I put the team together as like a unity. You about to cry?
Yeah.
Come here.
Oh, let me get out of the way. It's a group hug.
Why are we crying?
You know, why are we crying? This is all good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I just want to make sure. Nothing bad. You need your spicy.
Spicy, we need you.
Spicy! Talk to me.
You've been holding that in the whole time.
Oh my god. Give her a hug. Sometimes you need to just do it.
That's fine. You're good. I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't believe in you.
Facts. We good? Aww.
Okay.
Kiki, do you love me?
Okay, I'm ready. Yeah.
Oh.
Make sure to follow Born to Flex Nails on Facebook, Instagram, Born to Flex Nails _LLC. Anthony King, Shop King's Gloss, because this is just that on that. I do want to shout out Freeport. Can we shout out them?
Who?
A few people.
Shout out everybody.
Shout out.
Epic Lush. We're gonna go Bellaming Skincare in Freeport, Illinois. Please follow Carmise Braddock. Who else?
This is Team Love. Just show them love.
Janie Delaney from Curves by J LLC. There we go.
Alright. Well, you're going to send me all these names so I can make sure I follow them right now, too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
forgot 2 people too, because you love them.
Yes. Oh, don't. I'm not gonna cry.
You can cry. I just do it. Trust me.
You make me cry.
Oh, my babies. I got 2. My daughter's name is Honesty. And y'all gonna see she gonna be somebody. And it's not spelled honesty. It's AHNISTY. Honesty.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a
then
great name.
It is.
and Zachariah. And Honesty she's so strong, and she's been with this whole time.
Can I interrupt?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Honesty and Zachariah? I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
She here for you, not for her. Spicy, don't cry.
Stop! Everyone's crying!
Stop
David, can you
crying.
start crying so we can all look?
Spicy, get over here.
What do you mean? I'm crying now.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
I know why you're here. You ain't here for you. Yeah, you want to do X, Y, and Z. But you said one key thing during this interview is, what does someone do? And I don't even know if it's on camera or not. Bottom line is this. What does someone do who's been out of work in a pandemic, has 2 children, and no baby daddy in the picture? But you got Spicy to help you, right? The pandemic is something that's a whole other story.
Right.
And
There's
you know,
who has the
there
answers
is
for
no
that yet.
answers because you're open, close. No one knows what's going on, right?
Right.
But in general, right now, everyone in the world is facing something that nobody's ever seen before. I'm gonna say it to the whole world right now. Nike is almost about to stop production. Just read something yesterday. Zara is going down, the biggest retailer in the world. Rolex is stopping production. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Exxon is about to go out of business. The Exxon Gas, Mobil, you know what I'm saying? Like, Emirates Airlines just filed bankruptcy, which is like Dubai's airline or somewhere over there, like super chic money. Like, things are real right now. And things that are going to come pretty soon, like, no one can predict what's going to happen. But the bottom line is the only people that are going to survive going forward are the people that you ask me a question. Am I aggressive in business and making sure my friends and family are okay? 1,000% I'm aggressive. You want to come hang out with me and party? I'm the most lovable guy you'll ever meet.
It's a teddy bear.
So the teddy bear can turn into a grizzly bear real quick. But if I got to protect my family, I'm protecting my family.
Right.
And my girls are my family.